大家好，今天我们要访谈的是来自德国的艺术家 Angela Glajcar。他这一次在台北的敦仁馆 Blue Rider Art 举办他在亚洲的首个展Transformation 质的颠覆与构筑。在这一次 Coronavirus 非常这个疫情比较严重的时候呢，他来到台北毫无畏惧。我们非常感谢他。Welcome to Taipei.
Hello.
Yeah. Let's start with your passion. Why paper? Why you choose the material paper, and why you use hands?
So, using paper is the result of a long journey. I started with heavy material like steel and wood. And I realized that paper is, there are much more possibilities to work three-dimensional in paper for me. So after working with steel and wood, I decided to use paper as my favorite material for three-dimensional installations, especially for the site-specific installations. Why paper? It's such a wonderful material, so emotional and poetic, and of course it's also the way I can use it. Work with paper means I need more or less no tools. I can just tear it by hand, and this is very pure, very pure way of working. Which is the best for me. That I really love to be in touch with something in a very direct way. This is also why I work, especially site-specific installations, has to do something with the environmental exhibition space. So everything should be touched very deeply, so that there should be a mutual relationship between the things, the sculpture, the place, the viewer, me as an artist. And of course, for me, as I'm an artist, I produce my pieces by myself, so I always have the challenge of producing the pieces of art, and it's a very challenging work. Also for me, paper, each sheet is not really heavy, but altogether, if you remember, if you have to carry books, you realize, okay, paper can be very heavy, so it's quite a challenging work.
So you consider yourself as not only a sculptor, but also a space writer. So the triangle between your work, the viewer, and the space seems very important to you.
When I was a child, I'm really love to visit the Dahlem Museum in Berlin, which is a museum for African art, for Pacific art, and it was a wonderful experience how the pieces were exhibited in the museum. There was a combination of dark holes, the objects, the light, and that made me feel very, that was like a mystical, and I think I have a longing for these kind of things. I really like to find them again. And I'm always searching for these kind of experiences. And the way of using paper as a pure material which reflects light in a wonderful way, I can use the paper in the three-dimensional space in a very simple way and build objects in every shape which I like to build a sculpture. So all this is a combination, and if you look at the larger pieces, there's always the relationship between the exhibition hall, the piece, the viewer, me as an artist, the light, and that is something which I think is sculpture for the only thing which sculpture can much better than every other.
So, other than the works we show here today, but I understand you have some large pieces in public space, church, and when you are dealing with those monument sculptures, what comes first? What do you want to achieve in that space?
So the first, the most important thing is to look at the space, which each space has different possibilities, so different light, different levels. How do you use a space? Where do people walk normally? And all these things is, the best thing is to think about all these things in advance. So first of all, I just take a look at the space, and then I develop an idea. Because it's interesting, sometimes I can use daylight or artificial light, and all these kind of things should be in the project from the very beginning. Then I start to think about a draft. I build a 3D model for the piece, and then I realize the original thing. But most of the time the monumental pieces are really installed in the exhibition hall for the first time. So this is a long process, from the very beginning, the draft, the making, and then the mounting.
Great, marvelous, and wish us success, and happy Valentine, and thank you for coming to Taipei. Thank you. Thank you.